Live via satellite, it's Rockline. The show where you interview the biggest stars in rock and roll. Rockline is brought to you by The Simpsons on Fox. Hi, I'm Bob Coburn, and tonight from Phoenix, Arizona, we welcome Rush. To speak with Geddy and Alex, call the toll-free Rockline at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. One number toll-free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. And now, let's welcome our guests. In the world of rock and roll, Rush trails only the Beatles, the Stones, Kiss, and Aerosmith for most gold and platinum albums with 24. They used to trail another artist for most appearances on Rockline. Tonight, they establish a new mark with 21. Yay. Congratulations.
Yay. We win.
We're congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Bob.
Let's welcome Geddy Lee. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you as
Alex
well.
Lifeson here as well.
Hello, Bob.
Al, how you been, Al?
Good.
Good? All right, let's jump into it here. We'll talk about Snakes and Arrows Live, the new CD, the tour that's about 10, 11 dates in. You began this like touring in San Juan, Puerto Rico. You guys had never played there before?
No.
No?
First time.
First time?
Yeah, it was great fun. Because we needed also a place to do some rehearsing to open up the that part of the tour. It was a perfect spot after a long, cold Canadian winter.
I was going to say, coming from Toronto to Puerto Rico looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty heavenly. We spent a week there rehearsing and just relaxing and getting to see beautiful old San Juan, and it was great. It was a great show.
Are there other geographical locations left to conquer for Rush? It seems like you've been most everywhere.
Oh, sure. We've never been to Australia.
You've never been to Australia, really?
No, there's lots of places we still have yet to go.
We still have Alaska as well.
That's right. We haven't played Alaska. I think it's the last state that we haven't played.
That's right.
Well, they'll really appreciate it if you come up there. They really will. I hear the audiences are off the hook unbelievable. Plus, it's astoundingly beautiful up there.
Yeah.
This Snakes and Arrow Tour of 2007 is now available on CD, recorded in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and even in the accompanying booklet it says, "Isn't that weird?"
Isn't that weird?
It's very weird. Of all the places to record, why there, Alex?
Well, we had a day off before, so we could get into the setup. The venue, the Ahoy, is a velodrome, so it's a sort of an oval building, and it's a good sounding room. We also had 2 shows booked there, so it gave us an opportunity to get some shots on the following day as well. So we had quite a few different shots and different angles to choose from, and it was all shot in HD, so that was a real benefit to have a little more time than we normally do. Rush in Rio, for example, there was no preparation for it. We got there was no sound check, there was no line check, there were problems with the power, problems with the gear. It was a miracle that we pulled that off. And then with the R30 DVD, we were just there for that one day as well. So it was nice to have a little more preparation time.
Well, this seems like a luxury, Geddy.
Oh, yeah.
That much time before.
It was great. We had a couple of other tentative dates earlier in that tour that we were hoping to do. One was in Denver at the Red Rocks, but that didn't work out for a reason that escapes me now. And then we talked about recording in Toronto, but hometown is such a zoo that we thought, well, it would be nice to do it somewhere where we have a back-to-back show, as Alex explained.
Rush fans expect a certain level of performance from you guys, and to me, it's way, way up there, way at the top of people that I've certainly seen. Can you lose your concentration in the music and regain it quickly? Or if you lose your concentration, are you out of it for the next 10, 15 seconds?
Well, train wrecks do occur.
It really depends on how quickly you stop screaming.
The small man inside of you is going, where am I? No, there are things that throw you off. Sometimes you can concentrate too much. It's a whole Zen state. I mean, if you talk to any musician, the more you can not concentrate while you're concentrating, the better you play. It's just let it flow, let it happen, and you can really pay too much attention to what you're doing, and before you know it, you're having existential angst about what the next note is supposed to be. You just have to rehearse enough and have faith that you do know it.
Alex, you enjoy playing the new songs from Snakes and Arrows?
Very much so, yeah. Absolutely. They're all great to play. It's always little more challenging to play the new stuff, and I quite enjoy playing Hope live every night. Having that little moment on the acoustic guitar is a real treat for me.
It's a great moment on stage too.
Yeah, I think dynamically it's a nice break, particularly after Neil's drum solo, which is so intense and incredible. It's a nice little break.
Would you be all right if we started Working Them Angels?
I'd love it.
Here it is for you on Rockline. Working Them Angels for you on Rockline from Snakes and Arrows Live. We got Alex and Geddy taking your calls toll free, 1-800-344-ROCK. All the lines are jammed up right now. Keep giving it a shot. You may get through. Back in just a moment after a little bit of the larger bowl. Love hearing that on the last Entre Nous. We have Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson taking your calls, 1-800-344-ROCK. First up tonight from Binghamton, New York. Pat, you're on Rockline with Rush.
Hi, guys. Great new album.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Hey, I just want to ask you if you have any new instruments you're bringing on tour, any new guitars or basses, and if you also if you are going to be approaching playing any of the older songs differently after over 30 years.
Okay. Well, as far as my gear goes, there's no surprises from the last leg of the tour. You know, the same variety of basses that I was playing. Mostly Fender, and my Rickenbacker makes an appearance late in the game. And Al, I don't know. I think you're playing different acoustics. Right?
I've got the ES355, the signature, inspired by Signature series that Gibson did in my name. That's based on my 355, my white 355 of 76. So I have one of those out with me. And let's see, I have another Les Paul that's sort of a slimline Les Paul, which is a new line that I think Gibson is thinking about putting in production. Again, it's with the vibrato arm, the Floyd Rose vibrato arm, but it's a lot lighter than the other monsters that I have. And I also switched out the 12 strings that I used to have acoustics for a Martin 12 string, which is absolutely gorgeous to play and sounds beautiful.
Playing anything differently from when you did way back when?
Well, I mean, those songs after 20 years, they change in feel a little bit. You can't play the way you played 20 years ago. So there's always little nuances that are different. But I think the spirit of the songs are essentially the same. But little tiny things change. In a lot of those situations, only we notice the changes. But, just your whole attitude to the instrument changes. So some of the bass lines might be a little funkier than they were, say, when I was in my 20s, and my voice isn't quite as sharp as it was way back then, so I might approach singing them a little differently.
New songs from 07, I think I saw 2112, The Trees, Ghost of a Chance.
Yeah.
Red Barchetta. Yeah. So those four are added in this time around. Huh?
Yeah.
Excelente. Back to the phones we go from Bellingham, Washington. Jason, you're on Rockline.
Hey guys, I'm glad you extended the tour for a second leg. That's awesome. I think Bob kind of stole my thunder, but I was just asking, wanted to know how you changed up the set list for this leg of the tour, and would you ever consider putting I Think I'm Going Bald into the set list?
That's too close to reality.
Well, we just told you the songs that we've changed up.
Sorry, Jason.
Yeah, you're right, Jason. He did steal your thunder.
I feel terrible now.
But... thank you for that. We're happy to extend the tour, and glad people appreciate it. And, we really had a great time on the first leg of the Snakes and Arrows tour, and we're hoping just to carry it, and especially to play some cities, quite a few cities actually, that we have not been to in quite some time. So that's the main monkey business of this tour.
The main monkey business. There you go. And it's an extended tour, too. It looks like about 50 North American dates.
Yeah.
So, you guys are going to be at it for a while. Let's play Limelight from Snakes and Arrows Live. It's Rush on Rockline. Great way to start a show, huh? Limelight. We have Alex and Geddy taking your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. I'm Bob Coburn. You're listening to Rockline from Orlando. Steve, you get to talk to the guys from Rush.
Hey, greetings.
Hello.
Hey, I just had two quick questions for you guys. The first question was, is there a chance that one day you guys could put out some official bootlegs? Because many fans just want to hear how the band sounded like during a specific tour, and many would like to hear, like, for example, how you guys sounded like on the Caress of Steel or Hemispheres or Signals tour, and it would give, like, you guys the money instead of the bootleggers.
Well, interesting concept.
Yeah, I never thought of that before, actually.
We'll take that under advisement. But
And present it to management, which will shoot it down in 10 seconds, probably.
I appreciate your sentiment there that you want to hear some of those old performances. That's why we released those shows from the Hammersmith Odeon a few years back. Those were from 1978, which were not perfect by any stretch, but they were real, and that's kind of how we sounded at that stage in our career. But there must be some other crappy tapes floating around our office somewhere that may one day make it into an official bootleg. Well, thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah, maybe on cassette.
On cassette or 8-track. Steve, you said you had two. Is there another one?
Yeah, a real quick one. Alex, when you're playing live, when you're playing your Les Paul and you have like your acoustic piezo pickups on your guitar, do you actually control, like with a volume pedal, how much acoustic guitar comes out, or does the sound guy do it? Because I've seen, like, when you guys play, like for example, in Natural Science, you guys will blend it in from the acoustic into the more electric. Do you do that on stage, or is it a sound guy?
I've modified the Les Paul so that the tone pot for the back bridge pickup functions as a volume pot for the piezo. What Brad does out at the house is he'll use his discretion to blend it in to what he thinks is the right balance with the electric guitars. It's usually, unless I roll it off myself, which I do currently with Natural Science at the end of the intro, unless I roll it off myself, he controls it all.
There you go. Got your questions answered, Steve. Let's talk to Patrick in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. You're on Rockline, Patrick.
Hi, Geddy.
Hi.
Hi, Alex. Good to talk to you guys.
Hi.
I want to ask two quick questions. First, knowing you guys are Canadian, I have to ask, do you have any predictions on the hockey playoffs? And secondly, I'd like to know, do you guys have a particularly favorite food or meal that you like to have, especially on the day of the concert?
Well, as for your hockey question,
The Leafs.
I'm the only Canadian on earth that has no idea what's happening in the Canadian hockey playoffs.
You're a baseball fan. God love you.
I love the American pastime. But as far as food, Alex eats about 3 steaks a day. That's his special all-steak diet. Don't really have any particular food needs. I mean, I have things I cannot eat on tour for the sake of my voice. Dairy products and spicy food and certain things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah. So, but aside from that, no real, no special colored M&Ms or anything like that.
That's not in the rider. Now, Alex, you do have a chef that comes with you, right?
We do. Frenchie. Bruce French. And he's a fabulous chef. He takes really good care of us. He cooks all fresh, organic foods. And tailors to our diets, tailors the menu. Geddy said 3 steaks a day. He's not far off. I normally eat mostly proteins, not too much carbs. It suits my makeup much better when I don't eat carbs. Mm-hmm. So as a rule, I don't. I try to just eat as much protein as I can, and it's great having Frenchie there because he looks very specifically at getting the best products possible, and it really pays off in the long run.
It's tough to eat healthy on the road. We have to take a time out. Rockline is brought to you by Fox. This Sunday on Fox, Lisa's documentary on The Simpsons is a big hit with everyone, except her family. Don't miss an all-new Simpsons Sunday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Spindrift to the timeout. If you choose not to decide, you'll still have made a choice. It's Rockline and Bob Coburn. We have Alex Lifeson, Geddy Lee taking your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. RocklineRadio.com will tell you who's coming up on the show. We stream the shows for 2 weeks after the fact, so you can listen at your leisure. The lineup is extensive. Warrant playing live, Boston playing live, Journey with their new CD, Edgar Winter, Dokken playing live, Motley Crue's CD premiere, and Foreigner, and Night Ranger, and Glenn Hughes, and REO Speedwagon, and Judas Priest. And it's all at rocklineradio.com. And be sure to listen to the stream for the next couple of weeks and recommend it to a friend while you're there. Time for the Encore questions, brought to you by Radio Shack, left by Luke Daddy, Steve Lukather.
Hey guys, Steve Lukather here, big fan. I'm just curious, as you do a lot of instrumental stuff too, how do you choose which ones get lyrics, which ones don't? How do you decide? I know I get confused in my own life trying to figure that out because some things seem more instrumental than others. And how do you guys figure that out?
Yeah, how do you know what's going to be an instrumental?
Well, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
Alex and I jam a lot when we're writing, and we always say, oh, let's write an instrumental. And we start writing an instrumental, we start assembling it, and then suddenly there'll be some lyric lying there, and I'll go, this instrumental part we just wrote works perfectly with this lyric. So we steal that part of the instrumental, and suddenly we've written a whole song around it. And then we go back to the instrumental, and sometimes it just keeps happening. But with the main Monkey Business, for example, that was always going to be an instrumental, and Alex and I had this fantastic jam where we just were smoking, and we record them, just him and I jamming to a click or a drum machine or something like that. And then Alex finds a nice comfy spot on the couch and starts sleeping, and I sit there, play with the computer and arrange it until it makes absolutely no sense, and then we have the final arrangement. So yeah, there's a lot of ways of doing it, and it is hard to decide. Like Steve says, it's hard to make that decision, what's an instrumental, but we attempt to write instrumentals all the time until we accidentally write a song with one of them, a real song. So.
I think I recall Neil saying for him, even at his level, the Monkey Business was a challenge.
Yeah, it was one of the stupider songs that I've had the pleasure to arrange. And I really intended it to be difficult to understand. And this is not the original version. The original version was even more, quote, ignorant, as you might put it. It was really, it had more parts and was really outside, but so we kind of straightened it out a bit, and because it's nice if someone can understand the song,
especially your drummer.
Yeah, especially the drummer. And in fact, he usually wants the song more complicated, and he actually pointed out that maybe it was a little over the top.
Let's talk to Eric in Virginia Beach. You're on Rockline with Rush.
Yes, hi. I'd like to ask Geddy Lee a question concerning the interview that you gave during bass player back in this summer. Was
Certainly.
You had stated that there was going to be another jazz bass signature model that they're going to offer, one with a finished neck and one with a sanded neck and different tuning keys. I haven't seen anything from Fender about this release, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on it.
Well, I know that they're coming out with a sunburst version, and my understanding is quite a while ago they started changing the tuning pegs just as standard equipment on the signature bass that I sell. So and as far as the sanded down neck goes, that's just what I use on my current basses. I don't know if there's plans for that to be included in the signature model, but I'm sure it's something that could be done on request without too much difficulty. I mean, it's not that hard to do anyway, but I hope that answers your question. I hope I didn't say something misleading in that interview that you were discussing.
Well, if you did, you just cleared it up right now.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
You won't get in trouble.
Let's see. Camas, Washington, we have Alexander. Hi, Alexander.
Hi.
Hi.
I had a question about who was the first, about John Rutsey, what happened to him, and who wrote the lyrics for the first record.
Well, John Rutsey, I haven't seen him in quite a while. Alex, you talked to him recently, right?
Yeah, in 1987, I talked to him. Yeah, we haven't really.
So you really stay in touch.
Well, John left the band, and we continued working, and we sort of stayed in touch for a little while, here and there. But I worked out with him for a bit in the late '80s. But he's in a different place, and
yeah, he's moved on.
Yeah,
and so have we. And as far as the lyrics for the first album, I wrote them all.
I've often wondered that, actually.
I wrote one.
Oh, you wrote one?
You wrote one. Which one did you write?
Here again.
Oh, you're right.
We should try playing it tomorrow.
There again?
You just toss that in
over here again.
You could just launch into it, Alex. I introduce Alexander, and Al says hi.
Sorry, I thought you were talking to me.
I want to ask Alexander, how old are you, out of curiosity?
11 years old.
11 years old, and
Just
you're
like
a Rush fan?
Yeah.
Bless you. Way to get,
Bless
way to
your
get
heart.
going.
Yeah, you're
get
great. I
going.
love you.
Yeah, get started going.
Good name,
going.
too.
There you go. All right, let's do a song right now that was on Snakes and Arrows. It's the live version, the brand new live CD from Rush. This one is called Far Cry. Snakes and Arrows Live, Far Cry. Alex Lifeson, Geddy Lee taking your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. We are located in Phoenix, and we're KDKB. And boy, Geddy, you've been fighting something, you know. You're a trooper for coming in tonight. I appreciate
no problem.
that. Yeah. Affecting you on stage at all?
I'm pushing through it so far.
He was a trooper. He did a great job in Albuquerque last night. Albuquerque's at 5,300 feet and at 3 hours of singing, and he was great.
Yeah,
I love the guy.
He's my biggest fan.
I really am. I'm just glad I'm not a bird.
You know how handsome you are when you say that.
When you went to the ball game, you saw Randy Johnson pitch, and we were talking about Randy exploding a bird a couple of years ago. That's what Alex was alluding to
It
there.
sounds like something when you've got an upset stomach, you do.
What's that?
explode a bird?
Explode a bird. I was so sick, I just exploded the bird. It was terrible. It was a mess everywhere.
I mentioned Phoenix because we have a call from Phoenix, and this is Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi, great to talk to you guys. Welcome to Phoenix. I'm really looking forward to the show tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, before I had a couple quick questions, but just wanted to thank you for your $100,000 contribution from the New Orleans show to the Hurricane Katrina Fund. We really appreciate that on behalf of America. Thank you.
No, you're very
it's a
welcome.
pleasure to help.
It's hard to go to that city and not try to want to do something to help out. You know, it's
Great track record of that, so thanks. Hey, anyway,
Thanks.
real quick, anything unexpected, any pleasant or unpleasant surprises on this second leg of the tour, doing new cities and places like Puerto Rico?
pleasant or unpleasant surprises. How do you mean? Have we been surprised by anything, or are there any changes to the show? Is that what you mean? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of those things.
Both of those things.
All of it. Cover all of it.
Well, we have a few surprises during the show.
Yeah.
Some surreal moments.
How many chickens have you roasted now?
Well, I don't like to talk about that on the air because some of our fans are vegans and they get a little upset about it. But,
okay. Well, from what I heard, those are plastic chickens and fake rotisseries. So, yeah.
Well, I can't comment on that.
Have you ever exploded any of those birds?
No, I haven't. Have you had any surprises on this tour so far? Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank
I
you.
think that answers that. Yeah. Believe me, we have an answer for
really
everything.
think about that one.
You know what
Paul.
has been a bit of a surprise, to be honest, and a pleasant one, is to see how many people, like the caller we had, who was 11 years old, how many young kids are coming out to our shows. It's just really cool to look out there and see them singing and air guitar playing and air drumming, and not all of them are being dragged by their parents. They look like they want to be there.
No, they're coming on their own. Trust me.
That's
Yeah,
really-
there's
that's
a
really-
whole wave
that's a
of
nice
kids coming out.
surprise.
Absolutely. William is in Oklahoma City. You're on Rockline with Geddy and Alex.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, just caught your show here Saturday night in Oklahoma City. Excellent as usual.
Thank you very
Glad
much.
you finally got coming back to town for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're glad to have been there.
Yeah, it was a great show. Hey, I was just curious. You mentioned the DVD you guys had a chance to shoot. Looking forward to seeing that. Just kind of curious when that was going to be coming out.
Well, we're editing that as we speak, and hopefully it'll be out in before Christmas in the fall sometime.
A lot of work to
That's
do on
right,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think late fall, early or late summer, early fall. We probably won't be done until August, I'm thinking, once the 5.1 is done and the rest of the editing is done.
You guys are integrally involved in that? Or you let somebody else kind of?
Well, I generally
take the
get
reins?
involved in the audio end of it, and Geddy gets involved in the video end of it.
Yeah.
In between the two, you work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's a nice sharing the responsibilities.
And Neil does the covers.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Taking some calls, playing some songs. Got to play this song because we're only immortal for a limited time. It's Dreamline on Rockline. It's Dreamline Live. Snakes and Arrows Live is the new CD from Rush. And, of course, we have Geddy and Alex from the band. Neil, is Neil flying? Or he doesn't like to fly. Is he on the motorcycle? He's on the motorcycle again? Yeah, really?
Unbelievable.
Man, I just don't see how man can find a motorcycle safer than flying. But, we have our thing,
It's amazing how many miles and how much of America he has covered. It's really amazing.
Yeah, he's seen stuff you don't see from
we had 2 days off, and he put over 1,000 miles on in those 2 days off.
That's crazy,
I
man.
mean, just...
Yeah. And we're out for 100 days.
He came in the dressing room. Yeah,
tour.
He came in the dressing room the other day and said, these days off are killing me.
We'll be back in just a moment. Rockline is brought to you by Fox. This Sunday on Fox, Lisa's documentary on The Simpsons is a big hit with everyone but her family. Apparently, they don't like it too much. You'll like it, though. Check out an all-new Simpsons Sunday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. It's Armor and Sword. It is Rockline. We're back. I'm Bob Coburn with Alex and Geddy. 1-800-344-ROCK, the number to call. The line's been tied up for long before the show started. Scott got through, though, in Sheridan, Wyoming. Welcome to Rockline, Scott.
Thank you. Hi, Alex. Hi, Geddy.
Hello, Scott.
Hi, how are you?
Questions.
Sure.
First, if you do another feedback volume, what might be on it? And there are some archival photos that have been floating around on the internet of some early photos of Rush playing a gig at St. Catherine's School. And it looks like there was a cameraman set up and filming. Do you guys know anything about that or remember about that?
Any recollections?
No, I can't remember that. And really, I have no idea what those photos might be, where they might be from. And we were young at the time.
Do we have all our clothes on?
God, I hope so. And as far as your other question, I have no idea what we would, if we were ever going to do another feedback album, what we would put on it. But somehow I'd love to get a Led Zeppelin song on there somehow.
Any idea which one you would go for? What are some of the favorites?
I don't know. Good Times, Bad Times would be great.
Oh, you guys do that well.
Yeah. I don't know. I have so many to choose from.
Yeah. I was rolling in from L.A. to Phoenix to do the show, and Heart Full of Soul came on, and I went, boy, the Yardbirds grew some balls since the last time I was there. And then I realized... let's take another one, this time from Winchester, Kentucky. Al, you're on Rockline with Al and Geddy.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're great.
Awesome. Hey, I had a question for Alex concerning the Barbie doll episodes. I saw episode 1 and 2. I was wondering if there was going to be an episode 3 follow-up, and also kind of missing Big Al's Cheeky Bar. I'm not really good at a Sean Connery, but sorry.
That's okay, Miss Moneypenny. I doubt that you'll see any more Big Al Tiki Bar. That was something that happened at a certain time, and we didn't actually get to fulfill the whole program with the Tiki Bar. And with the dolls, yes, there's still episode number 3 coming. You know, it's been building up to that. We have yet to see what happens with Praetorian Man.
Story left untold. So, Rush.com.
Yes.
Rush.com. Always log in there. You find out tour dates, all kinds of information. It's Rockline and Bob Coburn. Let's play another one right now. I really love this song from Snakes and Arrows. I think probably my favorite on the album, so why don't we play it? The Way the Wind Blows on Rockline.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. The Way the Wind Blows. It's Rush live on Rockline. It's a brand new CD, Snakes and Arrows Live. And we have Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson fielding your calls tonight at 1-800-344-ROCK from Roswell, New Mexico. This is Michael. Hi.
Hey, Alex and Geddy.
Hi.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, I know about your acting performances earlier in Trailer Park Boys, and I caught your show last night in Albuquerque. I wanted to comment on your excellent acting skills in your video.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I was amazed. And my question is for Alex and Geddy. I was wondering what other artists are you listening to right now, or what CDs you carry with you, or MP3 players for other artists that you're listening to right now.
Do you?
Okay.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't. Playing every night, being bombarded with 4 hours of music every day, for me, I just can't listen to more music, so I tend not to.
Well, I got a brand new iTouch, so I was indulging the other day listening to some great stuff, and I was listening to a record by Blue Nile, which I hadn't listened to quite a while, which was great, and there's a Brazilian woman named, I can't pronounce her name, it's a CEO. It's just kind of Brazilian jazzy pop, but I was really digging that. And I've been listening to the Bjork Volta record, which I really like a lot, and I love her voice. It's just amazing. And also the Radiohead In Rainbows album, really good.
Greg Jernigan, our producer of Rockline, said when I got my iPod, he said, you will rediscover your music collection.
Yeah.
And it's exactly
really
the
true.
truth. You go back and go, oh my God, I forgot about that. That was great. That call from Roswell, New Mexico. I think of Dave Grohl when I think of Roswell, New Mexico, because he's got some connections there and everything. You guys played with Taylor Hawkins up in Toronto. How cool was that? What was it like?
That was a riot.
That was fantastic. We got a call a couple of weeks before Foo Fighters played in Toronto, and said, the guys would like you to come out and play YYZ, we call it in Canada.
YYZ, that's right. It's YYZ here. Yeah.
On stage during the Foo Fighters show, and we were all in town and just about to start rehearsals of our own. So we said, yeah, sure. So we went down to the Air Canada Centre. They had a sold-out show there. It's about 20,000 people or something. And in the middle of their show, Taylor just starts the beginning of YYZ. And Alex and I came out on stage and played the song with Taylor and the keyboard player. And it was a blast. And really a lot of fun. They're super guys, and Taylor was just having a blast.
Yeah, you could tell. The video went viral, and the guy who shot it was going, holy bleep, oh my God, holy bleep, 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 bleep. He was beside himself. We'll be back with more of your questions and calls in just a moment. Rockline is brought to you by Fox, and this Sunday on Fox, Lisa's documentary in The Simpsons. A big hit with everybody but her family. Don't miss an all-new Simpsons Sunday at 8, 7 Central. On Fox, rocklineradio.com is our website. A ton of bands scheduled for you to check out, rocklineradio.com, and we'll stream this show for 2 weeks after the fact, as we do with all of our shows. It's Malignant Narcissism time on Rockline. All right, we are back. It's Rockline and Bob Coburn, and we're with Rush this evening with Geddy and Alex. And, of course, your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK. You guys were in Albuquerque, and we have a call from there with Mike on the line. Hi, Mike.
Hey, you guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome after last night's show. Let me tell you, I've caught this tour 3 times, Vegas, Denver, and Albuquerque. All of them have been phenomenal. And I just want to first comment how meaningful Snakes and Arrows has been. I've had a very rough year, and it's gotten me through some tough times fighting some personal demons. And I just want to say that, Geddy, your delivery of Neil's awesome lyrics has been passionate, and it's unsurpassed, man. It's been awesome. I don't know what else to say. And I'm talking to my heroes, so it's cool.
Mike, you need to go to some more shows, dude.
Hey, my question is, there's been some rumblings of a documentary called Backstage Secrets, I believe. What is this all about? I'd like to know.
I don't know.
This is this Canadian film crew that followed you around
Scott
for quite
and Sam.
some time.
Oh, that's what they're calling it?
I think so, yeah.
It starts tomorrow night in Canada. It's a 5-part series. It starts Thursday.
This is a different thing that we did. Yeah, this is for basically on the crew.
Yeah, that's basically
that's about the crew.
Yeah, okay. There's a documentary series. This company that did documentaries on pit crews and various people that worked together, they followed our crew around for a while, and they basically filmed how the show's made, how the crew works, the interaction between us and them. And so it's kind of a documentary on a rock and roll tour.
But then there are 2 guys who followed you around for something else, too.
That's right.
Yeah, these guys are still following us around.
In fact, we had
they're under the illusion that we're interesting.
We had a gig where Scott and Sam were shooting us, as well as the backstage guys, and then somebody else was there.
Yeah, everyone wants to shoot
everybody was.
There are some people in this building that I don't know. Perhaps those are people following you around as well. I'm not quite sure.
That's why we have security.
There you go. All right. Let's talk to Kimberly in Grand Terrace, California. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now.
Me neither.
I just want to tell you thank you so much. You guys are the soundtrack of my life. I can't imagine my life without you. So says thank you very much.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
And I'm going to see you guys in a couple of weeks in Vegas at the Mandalay Bay. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm the cute blonde in pink.
Okay. You'll be easy to find.
Yeah, the one going crazy. The one in the audience going crazy. I'll be towards the stage, too.
A crazy cute blonde.
Crazy cute blonde.
Not again.
It's the modifier you didn't want to hear,
Well, yeah, I know you've seen me before going crazy in the audience, so you'll see it again, but I'm looking forward to it. My question for you is, Alex, I'm actually wanting to buy some new guitars, and I've recently played a Paul Reed Smith, and I fell in love with it, and I just want to know why you like them.
Well, I think they're fantastically built guitars. They're very, very well built. Great materials, good design. They sound great. I have quite a few Paul Reed Smiths, but currently I'm using Gibson products, particularly Les Pauls, and I quite love them.
Well, I believe you took care of everything there.
Always the diplomat.
That's right. Very well handled. Deftly done there,
We'll
Alex.
see you in Vegas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, the last time you guys were on, I asked a question, and thinking back, I was thinking maybe that wasn't the most astute question, but I asked if there's anything you'd like to eliminate from your catalog, anything that didn't want the Rush name on. And Alex, you had a comment about that.
Was that tonight?
No, that was not tonight. The previous time you were on for Snakes and Arrows, asked if there's any song you wanted to take back, and you said, both of you said no, not really, and you said I hate that Tom Sawyer song.
Yeah, that's been haunting me.
Been haunting you since. Oh my God! And here it is again.
Oh no!
Yeah, God, I love that song. Tom Sawyer by Rush, Snakes and Arrows Live. It's Alex Lifeson, Geddy Lee taking your calls at 1-800-344-ROCK from Versailles, Kentucky. Jordan, welcome to Rockline.
Oh, hi, Geddy and Alex. How you doing?
Good, Jordan.
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm so excited I'm talking to you guys right now. This is great. I saw you guys in Cincinnati. It was amazing. Okay,
Jordan, we're going to run out of time. You got to get your question, yeah.
Okay. My first question is, how was life on the road between shows? And my second question is, well, we know how Neil is on a typical day, but what do you all do?
Well, I'm kind of a golf nut. That's what I try to do just about every day. If the weather permits, I like to get out. It gives me 4 or 5 hours away from my hotel room and, hang out with some other people and be out in the fresh air, and that's really a nice thing. I love it.
And I sleep and read and sleep and then read.
Well, days off can't be too exciting. You just spent 90 minutes with me. So.
Exactly.
But still, there's hope into the timeout. That would be YYZ.
Or Z.
In some countries, yes. Thanks to everybody for listening, for calling. Great calls tonight. Thanks to our affiliate stations. Also, Steve King and Clayton Creekmore at KDKB FM in Phoenix for taking care of all of us tonight. Glenn Fukushima at Atlantic Records, who always does a nice job, as well as Rayanne Lapizio and Ray Daniels at SRO. By the way, I will be coming to the concert tomorrow night here in Phoenix. Excellent. I will not be wearing pink, and I'm really not that hot.
But you are
look
crazy.
For you anyway.
Yeah, okay. I'll be the dude in sneakers and jeans. You can't miss me, man.
Okay.
Good to talk to both of you. Great
You
CD.
too, Bob.
Always a pleasure to do this.
All right. We're going to have to run here. What a tremendous show here at rocklineradio.com for the next 2 weeks as well. That's going to do it for us tonight. I'm BC, and I'll be seeing you. Rockline has been brought to you by The Simpsons on Fox. Rockline is produced by Greg Jernigan and mixed by Jimmy Rash. Thanks to Chris Martin and David Brown for their invaluable contributions. And to Jamie Sutton and Valley Sound Studios, the home of Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn, and I'll be seeing you.